Hello and welcome to HD Auto. I'm Shubhadeep, and right at the very start of this episode, let me take this opportunity to wish all of you a very happy new year. And as we look to what promises to be a very exciting year ahead, kicking it all off is Kia with the updated Sonet. Now Sonet, of course, has been competing in the ferociously competitive sub-compact SUV segment for some time now, and with all the changes that it now brings to the table, it promises to make a louder proverbial noise. What are these changes? Stick around to find out. Now, Kia takes pride in two specific aspects of their cars: the styling on the outside and the feature list. Let's talk about the styling up front. This, the one that you see here next to me, is the GT line. The Sonet continues to be offered in GT, the Tech line and the X line as well. Depending on which trim line you choose and which variant in that trim line, some of what I'm talking about will definitely vary. On this particular model, the headlight design has been redone entirely. The DRL, how it's placed, has been updated. The front tiger nose grille has been refreshed a little bit, and the bumper at the bottom has been given a rejig as well. Now move to the side, and proportionally nothing changes on the Sonet. It still has the same length, height, the wheelbase remains same, but what has changed is this new alloy design that you get on this model. In fact, once again, depending on the trim line and the variant that you choose, you can actually look forward to as many as 5 different wheel designs from Kia on the new Sonet. Other than that, much of what you see on the side remains same. The windows are generously large, body-colored ORVMs, body-colored door handles. There is the roof rail, not functional, but in a contrasting shade of black to add some visual character to the side profile of this vehicle. Now, looks of course are subjective, but to me, the changes at the rear of the facelift Sonet is actually where the real magic is happening. Because while the bumper has been redone just a little bit, the most noticeable update is the addition of this stretched light bar right in the middle, which essentially is the flavor of many rival models of the Sonet as well. Good that the Sonet now has it too, right in the middle of these tail lights on either side, which have been updated as well. Now, visually, the tail lights and the stretched light bar here take the Sonet much closer to the updated Seltos, which was given a refresh earlier last year. Now, Kia is also offering the Sonet in multiple single and multiple dual tone color options. So once again, even with the body color choices, Kia is putting the customer first. But what are the changes and what are the choices that you get inside the cabin of the 2024 Sonet? Come, let's find out. In the cabin, let me just start from the back of the Sonet, because previous edition, the biggest grouch that I had against the Sonet before was the space. The new Sonet actually builds on that and does offer more under-thigh support and more room for your knees. The knee room actually goes up because the back of the front seats have been scooped, so just a little bit more space for your knees. Leg space is still, well, just about adequate. Headroom is quite decent. But overall, is it good? Is it an improvement? Sure. But is it best in its segment? Well, this new Sonet is still not quite there yet. But does it look premium? Absolutely. Now, once again, depending on which trim and which variant, and you'll keep hearing me say this, depending on which trim and variant you choose, the upholstery color choices also vary. We are on the top end of the GT line, and therefore you get this nice black and white theme on the seat upholstery. You can get black and beige and all black if you're choosing the X line of this version, and so on and so forth. Now the seats are also comfortable. You get the central armrest here with cup holders. In fact, one great addition in this car is that the rear windows come with a manual shade, so that's good for Indian summer conditions. You get dedicated AC vents, a storage space for your phone and knickknacks here at the back of the central armrest, and 2 Type-C charging points. More and more manufacturers are putting only Type-C charging points, which to me is a bit of a miss, because there should also be a 12-volt and a conventional USB point for someone who has older generation of phones. Now, that aside, the Sonet remains a feature-packed, feature-rich car. The infotainment screen has been carried forward, but the interface, we are told, has been updated just a little bit. The driver display has definitely gone for a complete revamp of the layout. In fact, when you choose between the Eco, Normal and the Sport mode, the visual interface changes and looks very sporty. In fact, I'll stick my neck out and say that this is the sportiest driver display in the segment. Now, some of the other features, some which have been carried forward and some which are new, include an air purification system, a really high quality Bose sound system. You get multiple charging points for the front passenger and the driver. The front two seats are ventilated, and the driver's seat can be adjusted electrically for four-way customized seating position and posture. But the biggest highlight and bragging point of the new Sonet, especially against its rivals in the segment, is the addition of ADAS technology. For more on this and how it drives out in the real world, it's time to get the 2024 Kia Sonet out and about. Now, in terms of engine options, the Sonet continues to come with both petrol and diesel, and that is significant because some of its rivals, remember, don't come with a diesel engine option. Of course, some rivals have CNG as well. There's no CNG still on the Sonet. But as far as the engine options on the new Sonet are concerned, you get the 1.2 litre petrol. The diesel engine also is there, and the diesel significantly comes now with automatic and manual transmission both. But the one that we're driving right now, and frankly, if you're going for a Sonet, why wouldn't you pick the 1 litre turbo in the petrol, which comes mated to the DCT? The reason for that is that this car produces around 118, 119 horsepower and delicious 172 Newton meters of torque. Now, it is familiar to drive for someone who has driven the previous 1 litre turbo Sonet. Would also be familiar to someone who has been invested into the Kia family, even if there were some other models. But for new people who are entering the Kia family, this one actually provides a lot of fun, energetic, peppy drive. Two updates to the Sonet's drive characteristics are the suspension and the braking. Now, the previous edition of the Sonet, the suspension was on the stiffer side. That has been worked, so this one is a little bit softer. And that really is how I would like my subcompact SUV to be. And the change is definitely noticeable to someone who's moving from the previous Sonet to this one. That's one. The second one is the braking. The braking has definitely improved, so there is a bit more bite from the pedal, and the stopping distance has also come down slightly. So on those two counts, Kia has done a good job. The DCT, well, remains quite energetic, peppy, as I said, but you also continue to get paddle shifters. So the rare occasions when the DCT technology doesn't really get the number to your liking, then you can always make use of the paddle shifters, and that works really well. The biggest bragging right for the Sonet definitely comes from the introduction of ADAS, because no other car in the segment of Sonet offers ADAS technology. Now, how the Sonet makes use of the ADAS technology is courtesy primarily one main camera at the front and 4 cameras which also help this get 360-degree surround view for people. But the ADAS technology in particular offers things like, you heard that beep, lane keep assist, lane departure warning, forward collision braking, forward collision warning, driver attention system, and so on and so forth. And we've been driving this car for about 2.5 hours now, and for most parts the ADAS technology has been working absolutely exactly how it is supposed to, it's meant to. But as far as the ADAS technology in particular is concerned, I'm still not very convinced about its viability in Indian conditions. But frankly, that's a debate, a topic of discussion for some other day. Coming back to the point about this car getting ADAS, definitely gives it a big leg up against its rivals. So there you have it, the updated Kia Sonet. The feature list gets extended. You get the diesel with MT and AT. Of course, we've not driven it, but it's there on offer for sure. And to me, the looks are a lot more stylish, a lot more aggressive. The Sonet will continue to attract a younger set of car buyers, but the problem or the challenge for this car is actually the segment in which it competes, especially because the segment has some very credible heavyweights like the Brezza, like the Nexon, and like the Venue. For an in-depth look at the car, do also check out our written review, which tells you much more about what Kia brings to the table courtesy 2024 Sonet. For now though, that's all the time we have. Do let us know what you make of this review and this car as well. This is me, Shubhadeep, signing off for now.